All right, so a decimal is, it doesn't have to be a 0 here. It could be a 1, it could be a 5, it could be whatever. But basically, this is the decimal right here. And normally, you're going to see something like this, or this, or this. So these are all examples of decimals. And what this means is 5/10, so it's less than 1. That means if you had 10 squares, 5 of them would be filled in. This one means if you had 100 squares, $53 of them would be filled in. And this one means you would have 1 whole square and then 53 would be filled in. So it'd be 1 whole and then 53 of another square. So in fraction form, this is 5/10. This is 53 over 100. And this is 1 and 53 over 100. So 1 whole and then 53 parts of a 100 piece pie or whatever, pizza. Does that make sense to you so far? That's what a decimal is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to work with decimals and what they mean. So the first thing we have to know is, what is the place value of decimals? So you know how we used to do, this is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds, this is the thousands, right? Mm-hmm. The decimal part is this part right here. On the other side of the period, which in math is not called a period, it's called a decimal. So I'm just going to write some numbers on this side of the decimal. So we're going to pretend like this is not here now. This is, you can write this down, tenths, hundredths with the TH at the end of it, thousandths, so you write the word thousand with a THS at the end of it, 10 thousandths, and 100 thousandths. All right, so one of the first things we do with decimals is we name them like we did here. So this was 5/10, this was 53 hundredths or 0.53, and this is 1 and 53 100ths. So that's the first thing we do, is understand what they mean. The second thing we do, and it's like coins when you're adding dollars and coins together, you can think of decimals like that. This is yours. So if you had 1.6 plus 0.32 plus 0.7, and you are going to add those up, our first rule is to line up the decimals of each number. So we're going to do 1.6, 0.32, and 0.7. And then we're adding them together, but doesn't this look kind of crazy? So every hole that you see that doesn't have a number, we're going to fill them all in with zeros like this. So then I have my ones. It's not really ones, it's hundredths, right? Because we know after the decimal, this is the tenths and this is the hundredths. But when we're adding, it's the first digit on the right. So we're going to add these up. Here's our problem. 1.6 plus 0.32 plus 0.7. So step one was to line up all the decimals so that all of the decimals are in a line. And our answer, we're just going to put that down here, and it's going to be in the same exact spot as the rest of the decimals. Our second step is to do our adding. So 0 plus 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 7 is 16. So you put the 6 here and you put the 1 here. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's 2.62. You don't need the arrow there. I was just showing you that we line up the decimal so that this, and this are all in a row, and then it stays that way for our answer. Does that make sense, Kate, or do you want me to explain that again?
It sort of makes sense.
Okay.
But
I'll do another one. 53.6 plus 0.738. So instead of writing it like this, you're actually going to line up the decimals. So you're going to do 53.6, 0.738. So it looks crazy, right? Because we're used to always lining up the digits, but this we're lining up the decimals. And then because it looks crazy, I just fill in all the blank spots with 0 so that I don't get confused. And then I just do the addition. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 3 is 3. 6 plus 7 is 13. 3 plus 1 is 4. 5 plus 0 is 5. And then our decimal just gets dropped down here. Does that make a little more sense? Okay.
yeah.
Now, to do subtraction, we follow the same exact thing. So if I did 54.3 minus 0.62, I'm going to line up the decimals. And then obviously I'm going to have a different step too. I'm not going to add them together. I'm going to subtract. And so we're going to do 54.3 minus 0.62. And I'm going to fill in my zeros everywhere. And then I'm going to do my math. So what would I do first?
Put the 2 down because 0 plus 2 is 2.
Is it though? Let's think about that.
Oh, we're doing minus.
Yeah, if you have 0 cookies, can you give your friend 2?
You have to take 1 away from the 3.
Yeah.
And put it. So it's 10 or no? Yeah, 10. And then that's 8.
Yeah.
You can't do 2 minus 6. Take 1 away from the 4.
Yep. Correct. And then 12 minus 6 is?
7.
12 minus 6 is 6.
Oh, 12. Yeah, 6. I thought it was 13.
And then 3 minus 0 is?
3.
Yeah.
And then put the 5 down.
Yep.
So 53.60.
You got it. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to stop the video, but we'll do some practice.